All right, Hobbs, you're an Olympian. How's that feel?
Feels great. I didn't realize how big of a weight there was until I finished the race. So it was that was heavier than I thought it was going to be, but I don't know. Happy to have been through it. Relieved. Yeah.
Can you describe, I guess, what was that weight that was on you?
I just ever since I signed pro, I think this is the race that we were all looking to. So figured I'd be developed enough, and it was kind of my time to start competing on the world stage. So yeah, there was a lot of pressure. I'm really proud of how I managed it. Race was hard. Vince was close, but super happy, super relieved. Can't wait to go celebrate with my friends and family.
When did the weight lift? When did you feel it?
When I crossed the finish line. I didn't even know how close Vince was, but I was just running as hard as I could. I've really been, ever since New York, working on that, going through the gears in a really calculated way the last 150. I was going as hard as I could, a little farther out than I thought I should, but that's just what needed to happen, and I was fighting for my life, and it was enough to get me there. So,
technically, what was the plan coming into this one? Because you've glued yourself to yard the first 2 rounds, yeah?
And all 3 now. Basically, I knew yard wasn't going to mess around. I thought he would go harder, to be honest. I wanted to tuck in right behind him, just because I figured if we're going 3:30 pace, which I thought was going to be 3:30, 3:29, I didn't want to be running wide at all. I figured that'd be fast enough to string it out. Vince protected his space really well, so I didn't really get that spot, but I was able to stay relaxed for most of the race, close enough to the inside, and then Cole went, and I didn't quite. I was just, I maybe had the gears at 250 out when he went, but that was a little far out for me, so I just tried to stay patient and go through the gears at my own pace the last 250, and that was enough to get me on the team.
Do you think that style of race suited you today, having it be very fast?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a versatile enough racer where most races could have suited me. I think I can have a lot of 800 potential, so I could close over the last lap really well too. But I just think it's less random, less pushing, less shoving. Less weird stuff can happen. Like sometimes good people can get boxed in. People that aren't as fit can just have a cleaner run. So I just think it shows who the best runners are in the fast races, and we still came home hard. So I was happy with it, but I would have been ready for anything else.
Has it sunk in yet you're going to the Olympics?
No. There was so much pressure, so much expectations that it's just, yeah, I haven't had a breath yet, but it feels good.
You've talked openly about just sort of the mental side of being a wreck in the call room before. What were you like today?
I was good. It's this year, ever since World Indoors, I was a huge mess, and I got through that and was able to get poised on the line and race really well. So ever since that moment, that just made some connection in my brain, and I just gotten so much mentally stronger. I'm on the line knowing I'm fit enough, knowing I'm mentally robust enough to get it done. So I would say I'm a lot less nervous now and a lot more poised. So that just came with more experience and some deliberate practice with it. But I've had a huge mental breakthrough this year, and have been really happy with how I've approached these races mentally and my poise all year.
What led you to pressure? In fairness, when you started going for 3 years ago, I don't think you could have envisioned you'd have to be an Olympic medal contender to make this team.
Yeah, I mean, I think this team compared to, granted it's 2 of the same guys, but I think if you ask both of them, they're so much better than they were in 2021. So, yeah, I'm proud to be a part of it. I think one of the best miler countries in the world, if not the. So it's an honor. I really look up to those guys. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm super excited.
That mental breakthrough this year, how did you achieve that?
So it was one of the biggest goals of indoors. I figured I need more experience racing and mentally, because racing's scary. So I just ran a bunch of high stakes races indoors. I was really scared. First one went good, a little stronger. Second one went good. Terrified of World Indoors. Was able to pull it together, and that just made it click. And then all year I just kind of had that muscle was so strong that I'm on the line, trusting myself, knowing I was fit enough, I trusted myself to make the right decisions. That it just got stronger and stronger. So it doesn't mean it's not hard and it's not scary, but I just have confidence in myself to handle those situations.
What led you to believe the race would go out 3:29? I mean, that was your equation before entering today. So what made you believe that that would have been a 4-second meet record?
Yeah, I mean, Yard is just that's just his style. He's got long limbs, and doesn't like to get caught up in the pack, and he's really good at front running. So I figured, I was looking at it from his perspective, and figured that would be his strongest strategy. So I just figured that's what he'd do, and that's what he did. And I think it was a smart strategy for him. I think Cole and I both knew that, and Cole was just the fittest on the day. But I think all of us will fare really well in Tokyo's.
Any other differences apart from that mental breakthrough between last year's final and this year's final for you?
I mean, everything. Just the training's so much tighter, the mental game's so much tighter. I don't know. I'm just a different athlete, different runner. We could spend an hour going into it, but I think that's just part of growing and maturing as a runner. Is you just figure out how to train better, figure out how to get your mental game better, just get the details sorted. So it's just part of the learning experience. I'm happy to be farther down the line now.
You ever gonna run longer than 7 miles ever?
Maybe. We'll see. I'm not like emotionally attached to any of the training I do. I'm just trying to figure out what works best. I'm gonna keep experimenting. I would like to run a 5K next year indoors. So I think I'll have to consult with some coaches, but I think I need a little bit more leg pounding, like fatigue resistance to run a good 5. So I'm sure we'll make adjustments there, but for now it seems to be working. So.
Did that training adjustment you think had an impact on your improved results this year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything. We've been I'm really proud of how we've approached my training this year. I think we've been so smart, so intentional, and the results have shown that. So.
Pre-Fontaine, you think if you redo that race again and you're in it and you don't step out after 2 laps, you think you're in that race?
Yeah, I think I could have been up there with Yard and Neil and stuff. I was feeling great. It's just unfortunate. It's just one of those things where I stumbled and I looked left or looked right. I looked right. And I was off the track. There's no way back on the track. It was just a real shame. So that hurt, but I'm happy that's the only thing that has gone sideways this season.
What are you most excited about for Paris?
To go race, represent the U.S. It's gonna be great.
World Indoors field is going to be pretty different from what the Olympic 1500 field is, with Jakob and Josh probably really being the heavy favorites in that one. How do you think you'll stack up?
Yeah, we'll see, but I don't know. I'm feeling the fittest I've ever been. I think I'm gonna race the 8 too, so 6 quality races. That's a lot of really great stimulus for Paris. So hopefully I'll be even fitter and can go and mix it up with those guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Hobbs.
Congratulations.